Afternoon, just a slight breeze, enough to keep us cool. So let's have a little look round. So the hanging baskets are doing okay. Half the time I don't know what I've put in them, but mostly because I'm terrible at labelling things. And dahlias, they're all coming on. They got a little bit of black fly, but I'll probably brush them off or give them a spray with some garlic water. Sweet peas, well, I've said to anyone that's passing, if you want a bunch of sweet peas, you help yourself. That's exactly what they have done. My cherries, they're almost complete. Hello, pussycat. And the pigeon, or the blackbird, he's been having a nice help himself to the cherries. And then my pansies, or well, they're actually viola, I think. And then in my bed, in my cold frame, which is a warm frame, I've got melons, and they're doing okay. They were saved seed from last year's, I think they were, but they were a packet of seed bought specifically for the English climate. Whether it's a good idea to keep them in that shut down lid, I don't know, but anyway, they're there and they're doing all right, so I'm happy with that. Then we've got each side here, we just got the pretty bit, which is doing all right. And then let's look in the greenhouse. In we go. Now then, I've got one cucumber there in the shade. No, that cucumber gets the sun. I've got my onions, which I've already pulled. They've just started. One of them has just got a small little bit of rot on it, look. The peppers are doing okay. I'm not growing so many peppers this year because mostly I grew them last year to give away, but most of the people that wanted them have now got their own. The tomatoes are coming on. Cucumber, oh, there's one, look. It won't be long before that one will be ready for picking. So it's looking good in here. Oh, I've got some leeks hardening off. They need to go in, and they will probably tomorrow. Here in the greenhouse then, I've got a few things that are coming on. I've got some cauliflowers, Amsterdam forcing that is, and some purple sprouting. Oh, and some Swiss chard. But then the peppers in here, can I get far enough away to show they're doing ever so well. I've actually got peppers on, look. These are sweet peppers. There's a few cayennes along the top there. Yeah, and that's it really. Oh, I've got some peas there that I'm growing on, and then I'll just keep doing peas in that sort of number. Then my cucumbers doing well in here. In fact, it's got little cucumbers on, look, and then the beefsteak tomatoes doing okay in here as well. And that's actually got tomatoes on as well, I'm quite pleased to say. Oh, and I'm trying an experiment. These are long squash. They're not the ones that 2 years ago, one of our allotment holders was growing ordinary Waltham Chase squash, and they grew huge, long like marrows, and the flesh was gorgeous. So, and I saved some seed. Anyway, I'll come across the seed and I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. Right, let's go back to the allotment then. Right, so we're back from having a look from home, the greenhouse at home. Once again, there's me smiling viola. I just love it. You come here and there's like lots of smiling faces all looking at you. I'm trying one pepper outside in this cold frame because last year it worked a treat, so we'll give that another go. Then my lettuce bed is already prepared and I've got a few lettuces growing in it, and a potato in a bucket. You've got to have your potato in a bucket. The sweet peas through here, they're all struggling. See the hanging cherry there? That's thanks to the pigeon or the blackbird. No, it's actually the blackbird, because he pulls and two come off, and he eats one and drops the other one, and one morning I came here and they were all hanging all through there. But there's just that one left, a couple. Oh no, there's another one there, look. So, right, my strawberry bed this year hasn't been tremendously good, because I think the heat of the spring made the strawberries set before the foliage was good enough to support them. But nevertheless, they're all coming on now. Then I've got peas. Once again, all these peas were put straight into the ground, and they've come up all at different rates. I think it must have been to do with the heat and the dry, and they've just not done so well. But they're coming on. They'll be okay. I've got some more over the back there. Then the sweet corn. This is me 3 sisters. Well, 2 sisters. There's me my courgettes in there, and there's courgettes on them. There we go. There's a really nice one there. Look. And these are long green bush. And they're lovely. Then I've got me later broad beans. These were brought on at home and then put out, and they're all ready for picking. And that's my next job, is to pick the broad beans. Let's go on to the next row. Right, next row, me red onions. Most of these have gone to seed. I'll put these out on the shortest day, and there's something that likes to pull them up and just drop them. And I'm not sure what it is. It's something that looks for worms underneath. In other words, blackbird, I think. Anyway, these peas are doing okay, and what I do is I grow the peas in little blocks at different times, so I've got a continuation. Now the broad beans, I've cut these all off because they've all been harvested, and I noticed they're sending shoots out. I'm going to let them go, see what happens. Now, one year I did that, and it had small broad beans on it, little small pods with little beans in, but they were fine to eat. Then this lot is all ready to be cut. Then the garlic. These are the elephant garlic. A good many of these have gone to seed, but they're fine. The Isle of Wight garlic that was growing in front of those, I didn't pick them, and then we had rain, so they're in there somewhere. But the few that I did find had started to rot off. Now let's go and have a look in my tomato frame. Now I built this frame in the hope to stop blight. And then I've got just the 3 tomatoes there, Gardener's Delight, Alistair Craig and Moneymaker. They cross-pollinate and they make quite a tasty tomato. And then I've got my gherkins here, and I think, oh, they're just coming. Look at that. Look at that. He's ready. So I shall sort those. I'm not going to pick them today. I'm going to pick them tomorrow. They do grow ever so quick. So let's move on down the row. Now then, I've got my grapevines. For some reason, the leaves are looking very pale. And then I've got I've got a few beetroot growing here that were put in as seed, and they're doing okay. And then here is the asparagus that I grew on in pots, and I've put them out. I've saved one pot that I've kept at home, and that'll go in where those beetroot come out. And I've put around them some coffee grounds, because I think they like the soil just on the slightly side of acid. Right, and then the Bacchus grapevine is doing really nicely. Let's move on to the next row. Next row, right. The rose bush is happy. The little herb bit, that was supposed to have been, well, last year it was horseradish, and I thought to have just one horseradish at one end and some parsley, but you never get rid of horseradish, do you? It's taken over. So the 2 of them, the horseradish and the parsley, and the chives at the end there, they can argue amongst themselves. Then I've sown some radish. These are my autumn king or Amsterdam forcing, I'm not sure, but there they are, doing good. Hold on, I did label it. That's parsnip. This end row is parsnips. So then I've got a couple of giant pumpkins. I don't normally grow them, but somebody gave me the plants and I thought, I'll give it a go. Then here we've got the 2 marrow plants, and I'm doing a little experiment there with these broad beans. I think I left them too late to put them in, really, but we'll see. We'll see. They've got different flowers on, that's why I'm growing them. Then the onions that I put in on the shortest day, they seem to be going okay. Once again, something keeps pulling them up, and I think they pull them up to look for worms underneath. And then over the back there is my blueberry that I've now put wire in because the blackbird will be eating them otherwise. Move on to the next row. And then there's me strawberry thingies it's getting old now, that one. So I might tip that out and start it again. But what I may do is try and make these holes more cup shape, with some heat or something. Then my asparagus bed, it's been great, but it needs a good weeding, and I've sprinkled some coffee grounds on it. But the cat, he loves it. When I weed it and get the soil friable, the cat loves it. That's what that make-out snake is for. And then all my rose cuttings and twigs I've put all over it, and that does tend to put him off a bit. Right, what we got next then? Oh, me Cape Gooseberry, the one that I brought on. That's the thing, living in Portsmouth, you get that happen quite regularly. Right, where was we? Right, now then, yes, the Cape Gooseberry, we've got gooseberries, well, Cape gooseberries. Apparently they're the highest vitamin C you can get. Well, that's what I believe. Then this grape one, these are the 2 dessert grapes, the red one and the white. I've already been through it and thinned it out, so I've only got one bunch of grapes on each stem. And my plum tree, somewhere on there is 2 plums, considering that's only its 2nd year. There's a plum there, look. Okay, let's go on to the next row. Right, potatoes are doing good. The ones at the far end there, they're the Myras. They always do well, don't they? And they are looking good. And then these were supposedly King Edwards, but I got a feeling looking at them they've got mixed up. They were some seed potatoes that somebody had too many. Then this full row is King Edwards as well. And these were later, the ones closest to us were later sowing to the ones at the far end. Let's go and have a look at the fruit trees. Now the fig tree, it's looking tremendous. Well, tremendous. See what I did there? Yeah, figs. All I want is them to ripen up now. And our red currants are doing good. And the gooseberries are doing good. They are supposed to ripen really good. So, not long, a couple more days. Hopefully I'll get to them before the pigeon does, or the blackbird. Then raspberries, there's a few showing there. Usually they show up a bit later in the year because they are an autumn one. Then we've got more red currants here. I don't think I'll need so many red currants. Right, my strawberries that are up here to beat the woodlice do exactly that, and we are getting some really nice strawberries. But it is quite a lot of effort to. There's a lot of people wouldn't bother with that kind of effort. Just grow strawberries, and what's left for you have, and what's left for the woodlice and the ants, you let them have them. Then I've got here, I've got squash. Once again, the 3 sisters, well, 2 sisters, whereby I've put the squash in, and then I've put the sweet corn around to give the squash a slight bit of shade. And that large, there was a very large broccoli there, which served, it had some lovely spears of broccoli on it, but now it's finished and it's gone, and I've got that one is still going. There was some wind forecast, and I put that old chair frame around it to support it, But I don't think that wind's coming now, but I'm going to leave that there anyway. Right then, so then my wildflower, my bee bit, it's got the burridge coming up again, look. And there's the remainder of the last lot of burridge. And then we've got new burridge coming up here. And then our sunflowers, they suffered tremendously with the wind, but they seem to have put themselves back up right again. Then peas, these peas are all but ready to pick, probably a day, and then this will be cleared for spinach. And then the whole of this bed then will be brassicas, and I've put in a few very closely put snowball, and the same here. One of them's headed in already, and it don't look very healthy. It looks like snails have been into that, so maybe not. You can't win them all. Then let's go across there. That's another good reason why I have beds, because I can put planks across and just walk across. These are my shallots, and I've been keeping these. What I do is I sort them out and I take the smaller ones and I keep them for seed, and these have got to be 14 years old now. They were ones that my dad grew years ago, and he's in the allotment in the sky now, so I'll keep growing them sort of as a memorandum really. And then I've got a couple of Musique de Paris. They are a squash, but they look like a pumpkin. That's the bumpy pumpkin, and they are the best ones. If you want to eat pumpkins, they're the ones. It's the ones that they sell on the continent, and I believe in Australia as well. And I've got a few leek plants here. I've got another some more leeks at home to go in, which will go through to make 3 rows. Then my last row here, French beans. There's something eating the French beans. Look at that, they've stripped that plant almost totally. I might put some sand around the base of those and see if that will help out. Then I've got some beetroot. Oh, and there's beetroot big enough to pick there, look. And then parsnips. I've done both here. I've put parsnips straight in, and there's one growing there, look. And I've put some in tubes, and they've been put in as well. So hopefully I shall have a couple of rows or 3 rows of parsnips there. And then this is going to be the new strawberry bed. Even though I think it was so dry and hot, it hasn't done too well. So I might have to rethink that and use one of the others as a strawberry bed. Then the peach tree is looking good. The peaches are looking good. I've thinned them out to just a few peaches, as I have done with the pears, and I have done with the apples, even though the apple tree still looks loaded, and yet I've taken over half of them apples out. Then the Merlot, thinks it's in France because it's in this area where it traps the sun, and the Seyval grape, they're looking okay. So then let's go and have a look at the beehive. There, beehive, they're happy. They're really busy. Then the potatoes that I put in well before Christmas in these bins, they just seem to be very slow. And I had a dig down to see if there was any potatoes on them, just so I can pull out half a dozen just for a meal. And that's exactly what I did do, found half a dozen, but they weren't as big as I was hoping. But there we go, I think probably I've let them dry out. So there's the plot. Let's go round. Oh, there's the plot. It's a strange old year this year with the heat, and now we need some decent rain. But nevertheless, every year is different, and every year is an education. So happy gardening everybody. Stay safe. Bye.